In our last video, I gave you 8 things that you need to figure out for your offer. The first was market sophistication, the awareness levels you will target, the emotions you will use, how you will position your offers, your mechanism, the pain points you call out, crafting your big ideas, and crafting your offer attributes. Now I have gone ahead to do some testing, right? Which is the next step after you've done your research, you want to test. And then I want to show you what it looks like to have done the testing and have arrived at all these answers. Okay? So just to whet your appetite for how good the testing can be. So let's get started. Okay, so from employee to business owner, that's like the kind of product what I'm talking about, which is just continuing off from what we did in the market pain and offer attribute sections. So the sophistication level of this market is a solid five, right? And it's a solid five because they've seen all sorts of offers targeted at these people. You know, get rich quick, make money. Those kind of stuffs have been in the marketplace. They've seen all sorts of offers for different kinds of product, including the one that will be sold that we're assuming we're selling, like in this demo. Okay. Now, what are the awareness levels I want to target? I'm going to target the first three awareness levels: unaware, problem aware, and solution aware. Now, because the sophistication level of the market is very high, I'm going to try to use a very indirect approach to sell. Now, what is the main emotion that I'll sell with? So my ads are going to use guilt as the main emotion. So you've been saying you're going to do X, Y, Z for the last 10 years or the last 5 years, but look at you, you're still stuck where you were, still working the same job. You've probably just had a tiny salary increase. What are you doing about your situation and stuff like that? So that's like the main emotion. Okay, the supporting emotions I'll be using, I have fear and of course greed, right? Greed, you can have a product offering financial freedom and not have greed. Okay. Then for the product positioning, I have the unaware audience, the problem aware audience, and the solution aware audience will certainly have three different positionings. And likely we also have different emotions. Okay. So just for the overarching campaign, I have selected guilt as the main emotion. But when you talk about the positioning, right, of the product, it will take you have three different positionings, three different emotions for these different audiences, the different awareness levels, I meant to say. So for the unaware audience, we're going to position the product as AI will take most jobs. Are you prepared enough? Just to put doubt in the minds of those who feel they are prepared, and just to reawaken those who may have forgotten about it, right? We could also position it as move from six-figure income but burned out every day to seven-figure income without stress. Okay, so these people, they are not aware of this, or assuming they are not aware of this online business thing, or they haven't really, you know, taken it as a problem that they want to solve. So that's how we are going to position it for them. Remember I told you the unaware audience, they recognize their symptoms, but they don't exactly have it nailed down as a problem. Now, for the problem aware people, I'm going to position it as a clear roadmap for busy employees to transition to online business owners fast, right? So take note, we're not using this positioning statements or whatever as like a headline or whatever. Of course, you could use it if it's really good, but the main reason we're writing it down is to have an idea of exactly what we are doing, right? So that will guide the way you come up with the ads. Now, for a solution aware audience, we'll position it as the easiest online business to make 10K every month. So these people are already aware that they need to make at least $10,000 and with an online business so they can quit their job, right? So we are positioned as the easiest, right? This is the easiest thing you can do if you want to make 10K a month. So that's the positioning, because these people are aware of the solution. Well, those who are aware of the problem, we just tell them, well, this is a clear roadmap for you to transition from, being a busy employee to, you know. So that's it. Then we talk about the mechanism. Now, the mechanism, remember, is how you're going to fulfill on your promise. So, you know, we'll say it's a simple info business, right? That's aided by AI. Okay. And the way I'm going to, describe the mechanism, I'll explain to them that, we have different sophistication levels. And the reason why most people who create products cannot sell is because they are playing at a very high sophistication level. Okay. And they don't know how to reduce the level so that they can eliminate blindness. And if you follow my instructions, you'll be able to, create products that where you've reduced the sophistication level, and you'll be able to sell more. So you can create products around your hobbies, your what you do for fun, your things you do for leisure. You can create, you know, info products on virtually anything that you find yourself doing often. Okay. So that's the mechanism I'm going to present to them, and I'm going to describe it in a way like they've never heard before. Remember, if your market is sophisticated, you need to use a very strong mechanism. And by the time I'm done describing it, they are going to really believe that they can do it. And that's the essence, because the toughest job in sales is to overcome doubt. And the most difficult kind of doubt to overcome is self doubt. So you have doubt, or the doubt that your product is real, or you're a real person, you're legit, and what you're saying is true, right? That you can easily overcome, just by showing some proof, or by, you know, proof basically, or explain it in a way that it makes sense. But self doubt is where the person feels, well, I'm not sure I'll be able to do this, even though I believe this thing is true, right? To help that person overcome that self doubt, you need a really strong and unique mechanism that shows how simple it is. So, what are the pain points I'm going to deal with? So I'm going to deal with the stuck in a job that doesn't pay kind of pinpoint, unprepared for massive. Are you prepared for massive job loss? Then, those who are not so prepared for AI taking jobs, right? Those pain points like confusion, the lack of clear path to escape the rat race. There are those who are afraid of quitting and, starting a business and then failing. So those are some of the pain points. You could come up with a barrage of different pain points that you want to address, right? I just type this one off head and all that. So those are the pain points I want to, target with this campaign. Then we have the big ideas. We already did this one yesterday. We already did this one, in the last lesson. And we'll say AI will help a few employees quit their jobs and cause many employees to lose their jobs. Which side are you? Then we had another one that said business advice from TikTok is garbage. It will overwhelm you without results. Degrees and a good job won't give you financial freedom. So those are a couple of the big ideas that we have to, play around, right? So we have the offer attributes worksheet. I already did that in the last lesson as well. But all these information are fueled based on the ad testing, and I will show you that in the next video. But before we do that, I want to show you how powerful doing all this can be. Now, because the testings and everything will influence your entire campaign, including your sales pages, your VSLs, your product description pages. If you're an e-com, it will affect everything. Okay, and I want to show you a sample VSL that I just wrote off the top of my head for the unaware audience. Without I've not edited it, so of course there will be lots of errors. Okay, it has not been proofread at all, so bear with me. Okay, you can forgive me for that. So this has a headline that says how to start an online business that pays more than your job so you can quit your job. Okay, so this for the problem aware kind of audience. They're aware they want to quit their job, and you know they are looking for a way to do it. So now I know immediately, because of the sophistication level of the market, that I have to deal with the elephant in the room. So to deal with the elephant, I would just say, just to be clear right out of the gate, I'm not going to try to sell you anything in this video. so you can be at peace knowing that you're getting nice educational content from which you learn a lot and not a sales pitch in disguise. Are we good? Online business advice on TikTok is garbage. To succeed, you need real advice from real people who have walked a similar path, not some programmed robotic voice saying things they've never done. If you keep listening to everyone, you will add to your confusion. You need a single source of truth. You need a clear path to move from employee to online business owner. You need actionable advice you can implement today, right now. Otherwise, you might be stuck doing the same job and in a similar pay in a more expensive world. Then here I future pace. I tell them what it looks like if they listen to me till the end. So I say, but if you stay to the very end of this video, you'll have a clear roadmap for starting an online business that makes enough money for you to quit your job so you can live your best life instead of worrying about money or feeling stuck in a job that's sucking the life out of you. But first, let me remind you why you want to quit your job. If you're anything like me, here are some of the reasons why you want to start an online business. Number one, you want to invest the energy from your best years into building something great for yourself and future generations instead of working for another man and his family. You want to stop worrying about money, even over little pleasures like Starbucks. You want the freedom to control how, when, and where you work. You want to make six, seven, and eight figures year after year without the stress of a paid job and without giving half of it to Uncle Sam. I live in Canada where taxes are high, so I understand. If at least one of these reasons is not why you want it, you should stop watching this video immediately because nothing I say next will be of any benefit to you. Now, this statement there is a contradiction, right? It's kind of resist people, right, who don't want these things, but take note, they want these things. The people I'm selling to want these things, okay? And it pulls those kind of people more into the video. It gets them to really sit up and be serious to listen to the entire thing, okay? Which is what you want. And then I say, since we've talked a lot about what you want, now let's talk about what you need to do to achieve your wants. It's something I call the concept of value. So now I've switched into education where I want to deliver my mechanism. So I'm leading in from, building up that desire to where I begin to um, demonstrate my ability to help them by actually helping them, right? And giving them a very nice educational content. Okay, so let's continue. It's something I call the concept of value. To make money, you must provide value. Money doesn't answer to race, education, degrees, and whatnot. Money answers to one thing and one thing only, and that is value. And there are only two types of value you can sell to make money. It's either going to be a product or a service. For instance, when you work a job, that's a service to your boss. When you start a website design agency, a roofing company, etc., those are service based enterprises. Don't worry, I'm not going to suggest you do any of those. My focus is on how you can start something that doesn't consume your time. I'm assuming you don't have much of those right now. So that would serve as our North Star for choosing a suitable online business. Very close to this North Star would also be the capital needed, another factor we want to keep as low as possible at the start. Back to our discussion about products and services as forms of value. For employees, it's usually simpler and easier to sell a digital product because they are scalable. Once created, you don't need to invest more units of time or effort to replicate and distribute this value. Remember, you don't have a lot of free time to deliver a service, and you also don't want to keep expending money to purchase more units of physical product. Once you get a digital product that sells, you can sell thousands of copies without spending more time or energy. The only thing you need is a product that sells, and we would get to that soon. Some people don't want to be associated with selling a course or an ebook either because there's competition or they don't want to appear salesy. People with such mindsets are limited because there are several types of digital products, including art, software, codes, music, consulting, etc. And there's nothing wrong with selling information products like courses or ebooks if they truly help people. Now, let's talk about competition. Look, competition is good. In fact, it's great because we have businesses we can study. That will give us a good head start. It also helps us validate the presence of paying clients in that niche. Around November 2019, I saw a guy selling a simple video on how to get unlimited Facebook accounts. advertising accounts. This was at a time when Facebook was banning advertisers left, right, center. I don't know how much he made, but it inspired me to create a simple video on how advertisers could use a secret targeting system to make more sales with their ads. And the simple video course quickly became a six-figure income stream for the years it was in the market. I had the skills to make such a course many years earlier, but competition helped me discover it. And that's what I hope to help you uncover today: your skills, hobbies, and experience that can be productized and monetized so you can start making more money than your job pays you without having to quit your job. I know you don't have much time, so everything I talk about today will be based on the 2 hour per week time frame. Let me present to you the roadmap for transitioning from an employee to a business owner. I don't know why I added ground zero here. Maybe it was a code when I was writing it, but I can't remember. Forget about that. Okay, so don't quit your job now. Don't expect a get rich quick scheme. Be ready to sacrifice 2 hours of your time every week for the next 90 days. If you're ready, let's go. So here I'm going to introduce the 9 step roadmap. Okay, I'm going to put up a picture. Okay, and I'm going to talk about the mechanism, and I'm going to start talking about how the product you want to create should be the problems with creating a product, just like what everyone else is doing, and why that is not working anymore, because there's a lot of sophistication in the market. There are free contents on YouTube, and how you can completely decimate competition by niching down, and it's even a lot easier to make such products. And I'm going to describe all that in detail, just surface detail, of course, make it look as simple as possible. And then I'm going to say, well, now that you have a clear path, you've seen it to starting your own business in your free time, let me ask you this: do you believe by following these steps you can start a business that makes a lot of money and eventually helps you quit your job? Of course, you said yes. You always want to make the answer to this question yes, right? So of course you said yes, and don't assume they will say yes. Make them want to say yes by adding of course, because when you say of course, it says, well, that's the only logical answer, that's the only reasonable answer. And then you say, so I want to invite you to book a 30 minutes planning session with me or someone from my team. On the call, you will get more clarity about how to follow these 9 steps. So you're offering something more. So you're not just saying, well, do this call. No. And everyone is different. So we would help customize the plan to suit your specific situation so you can make the most out of it in the shortest possible time frame. It's important I say this now. This is a real session and not the typical hard selling sales calls we are all used to. I won't hard sell you on anything. If you don't like the call, if you feel like the call has not been worth your time, I will compensate you up to the tune of $1,000 for wasting your time. That's how I keep myself in check to make sure we are fulfilling our promise to give you value. Only after you've gotten valuable help, if you decide that you want more help, we would share what our offering looks like and what it looks like to work with us. Click the button below this video and check for availability. If you can't find one, it means we are booked out. So make sure you book a spot right now. See you. So that's just to add some urgency to it and all that. And here is also to emphasize that, well, this is not the typical kind of sales call you go through. You're going to actually get some value. And, we're backing our claim up with $1,000, right? And just to make it more enticing for people to take the session. So of course, if you're selling, maybe this is like, I'm assuming the product is going to sell for $3, $5, $6,000. So you cannot sell that using a sales copy. You can only do that on more or less like a call, right? You have to interact with the person. So you can see how I've been able to flow from having market pain to coming up with the offer attributes, and then doing testing, and then pulling all that information, you know, into coming up with a VSL, right? This VSL will never be as powerful as this without all that work. Okay. And then how am I going to create the ads? All right. You'll see that in the coming videos, right, as you progress in the lesson. But you can see we've already had our VSL or our sales page and all that. When you go through this lesson, through the lessons, you're going to use all the information you get to improve your copy pages, your copywriting, your product pages, your sales pages, landing pages. Everything would all revolve around all the research that you have been doing. If you already had maybe like a pretty converting page, product page, sales page, whatever, and it's just the ads that's the problem, then the next videos will also help you to come up with ads that will work, so you don't have to worry about that. But make sure that those pages are actually indeed converting, like maybe they've converted in the past. Sometimes something converted in the past and it has stopped working now because there's more sophistication in that market, and that kind of offer will just not work anymore. So if you're in that kind of situation as well, you also want to make sure that you are tweaking and adjusting based on the research and based on what you find from testing. All right, that's the end of this video, and we'll talk more in the next one.